Imagine being locked inside a cold, windowless cell for months on end, despite never having been convicted of a single crime. You are handed a mop and told to clean the facility. For an 8-hour shift, you will be paid exactly $1. If you refuse, you face solitary confinement. This occurs daily inside civil immigration detention centers across the United States. People awaiting civil immigration hearings are being held in conditions that are indistinguishable from criminal penal labor. In 1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified to abolish slavery in the United States. However, the text contains a specific exception for anyone being punished for a crime. Because immigration violations are civil infractions and not criminal offenses, this constitutional loophole for forced labor cannot apply to these detainees. This raises a central question. If the practice is unconstitutional, how is systemic forced labor operating in plain sight today? Most of these facilities are run by massive private prison corporations like CoreCivic and Geo Group. This financial breakdown shows that standard labor accounts for roughly 70% of a facility's total operating budget. Maintaining these facilities requires a constant workforce of cooks, janitors, laundry workers, and maintenance staff. Hiring local workers at a legal minimum wage creates a massive expense. Using detainee labor at $1 a day creates a massive profit margin. This labor model allows corporations to siphon billions of taxpayer dollars into profits by removing the single largest expense on their balance sheet. The legal cover for this comes from a 1950s congressional provision for a voluntary work program capped at $1 a day. The corporations argue that because detainees sign up for the program, the companies are immune to forced labor accusations. But the choice is often an illusion. Inside the facilities, commissaries charge high prices for basic necessities like soap, toothpaste, and phone calls. Those who refuse to work face harsh retaliation, often threatened with solitary confinement or the severe deprivation of basic human needs. When the alternatives are severe deprivation or isolation, the labor is the result of active coercion. Detained people are now launching massive class action lawsuits against Geo and CoreCivic. They are not suing for minimum wage violations because courts have ruled that detainees aren't technically employees. Instead, they are using the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. The TVPA prohibits obtaining labor through threats, physical restraint, or the deprivation of basic needs. These lawsuits reframe the corporate business model as a nationwide human trafficking operation. This legal challenge poses an existential threat to the entire private immigration detention industry. If these corporations were forced to pay legal wages for facility labor, they would immediately go out of business. This entire multi-billion-dollar industry is balanced on the legal survival of this $1 a day loophole. We have to consider whether America actually ended forced labor 150 years ago, or if we simply allowed corporations to privatize it.